Yeah, just the last row there.
I'm flying to the far north Kimberley to visit a remote section of Western Australia's coast, where 2 people smuggling boats have arrived in the last 7 months.
Home sweet home! Welcome to Honeymoon Bay. We're going to go to Truscott, West Bay. There's Coast Watch flying overhead more than usual. Apparently there's drones flying around.
Only 3 families live along this coastline. Resident Lancho Davey is taking me out in his fishing boat to see how close we can get to where the latest boat arrived just a few days earlier. This area is sparsely populated and is actually closer to Indonesia than any Australian city. It's why Truscott Airbase was secretly built here during World War II. It's no longer a military base and is mainly used by the oil and gas industry. In November, a dozen asylum seekers, reportedly from Pakistan, walked ashore close to Truscott Airstrip. A document seen by 7:30 shows the Australian Defence Force started aerial activity in support of Operation Sovereign Borders at the airbase in December. Flight records show unmanned drones patrolling the coast. Despite that ongoing presence, another boat arrived in early April. That boat was carrying 10 men from China who walked ashore. One of them has since told the ABC some of the men were able to enter what he described as an airport without being intercepted. A spokesperson for Australian Border Force said assets are always postured to detect and intercept maritime people smuggling ventures. And in 2023-24, additional assets were deployed in support of Operation Sovereign Borders.
Long way from home, and we're a pretty rugged country. A lot of sandflies and mosquitoes and mice flies. So as long as they can handle that, I suppose they'll be all right. And crocs.
As well as the people smuggling, there's been a spike in foreign fishing boats coming close to shore since 2020, according to federal authorities.
You always hear of boats in the area. There's also some boats that come here and do illegal fishing and go up around one of our islands near Wallara, which is Graham, and they sort of set up camp on the beach, and every now and then when we go around we'll either find rubbish on the beach, like Indonesian wrappers and stuff like that. So usually we'll clean it up.
That's pretty close to the mainland, isn't it?
That's pretty close. I think they do come regularly. Usually they're long gone before anyone knows that they're actually there. But like we always keep an eye out for lights and stuff like that, because we can see the island from where we are.
We've reached the barge landing close to the airbase, but it's unclear if we're allowed ashore.
So I reckon this is as far as we're going to be able to get. This is the Truscott barge landing, and as you can see it says Maritime Security Level 1. So from what we can work out, this has become a pretty tightly restricted airspace. What is really puzzling people though is they've got all these extra resources here. Unmanned drones are just circling the coast. How was it that these Chinese nationals were able to come ashore and actually walk themselves into the airbase?
It's the same thing locals are wondering at the nearby community of Kalumbaru.
It could definitely be done a bit better because we're vulnerable, we're open, and there is nothing pretty much on this side. You know, imagine walking down the beach and going for a fish and then bumping into those guys. Yeah, it'll be definitely a scary situation. Not only that, their health could be an issue for the people here. They might harbour viruses or diseases that could impact the people here.
And it's not only Aboriginal communities concerned the coastline is exposed.
How did this happen, really? I mean, that's the thoughts I think that was on everyone's mind. Our coastline can't be that lightly defended that any boat can arrive anywhere and wander onto an airbase. If a random boat can arrive and wander into an airbase, what else is happening in the north?
Matthew Nakula chairs a coalition of local governments that's lobbying for increased defence of the northwest coast. The Seven Shires argue they're at risk of biosecurity breaches, drug drops, and potential attacks on the billion-dollar export infrastructure in the Pilbara.
One of the alarming facts is, yes, 4 boats have been identified in this time over the last 6 months, but that just raises the question, how many haven't been identified, how many are getting through, and how easy is this coastline to actually land on? The most vulnerable coastline we have is right along the north, and that's where we need to see a focus of key assets, key infrastructure, and a lot more presence.
Australian Border Force said that it is appropriately postured to meet the current maritime people smuggling threat. In Columbaroo, Queenie man and former community chairman Les French is on his way to the local beach.
It's good fishing. You can catch a few barramundi around here too, you know? And cod and stuff like that. And mostly people come out here camping.
He says Indonesian fishermen have been visiting this coastline for centuries before colonisation. It's the people smuggling trade that worries him more, and the grim thought that some groups might not be found and will perish.
Well, the only way they can survive is inland, not out in the mangroves and around the coast area, because it's a dangerous area. They can get picked up by the croc. They won't know where the crocodiles are, you know? They can be sleeping in a muddy area and cutting down mangroves and things like that, you know. They're doing the wrong thing.
And Les reckons the coastline's just too big to spot and stop every single boat.
It's a big, tough job, yeah, but you need somebody out there all the time, you know, checking, you know, not only, you know, and make sure that they don't come around here, but that's what the Aboriginal people are proud of. The main thing is we need more communication, you know, because we are here and they should contact us and keep in touch with us to watch for people like that coming from overseas.